total of 202 African immigrants arrested for unlawful entry into Ghana through unapproved routes along the Ghana-Togo border are to be processed by the Aflao Sector Command of the Ghana Immigration Service (GIS) for repatriation. 92 of the illegal travelers were arrested over the weekend by the Defense Intelligence of the Ghana Armed Forces at Aflao, while the other 110 were arrested by the Ghana Immigration Service stationed at Aflao. Investigations by the officers revealed that majority of the foreigners were without valid travel documents. Assistant Commissioner of Immigration, Frederick Badodu, the Aflao Sector Commander, told the media that the arrest of the 92 persons happened at Sogankope in the South Tong district, while that of the 110 was at the GIS checkpoint at Ativuta in the Ketu South district. He stated that the illegal travelers were being processed for repatriation to their home countries, noting that the border closure directive by the president was still in force and that the command will do all it could to enforce it. Ghana's borders, air, land and sea, were closed to human traffic from the midnight of Sunday, March 22, 2020, following the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic to contain and prevent the spread of the disease in the country. The air borders were later opened. ACI Dodu said his officers had a challenge guarding the porous borderline, which had numerous unapproved routes, making it possible for foreigners to maneuver their way into the country. He said apart from the porous nature of the borderline, there were logistical challenges, such as lack of power supply at these places, making the work of officers more tedious. The sector commander assured that despite these challenges, the command will not relent in its efforts to secure the country's eastern borders and apprehend illegal immigrants. He advised citizens from neighboring countries to come in through the main Aflao border, insisting that entry through unapproved routes, especially when the borders were still closed, is just like getting into somebody's home through the window, which is illegal and unacceptable. Maxwell Kofi Logudo, the municipal chief executive for Ketu South, for his part said the assembly was in talks with the GIS, sister security agencies and other stakeholders to resolve issues of logistical constraints and other challenges to ensure the safeguarding of the borders. He said the assembly was not ready to take any chances with issues of security and will take the necessary steps to ensure the security of citizens, especially during the Christmas festivities. Parliament on Tuesday approved the 2022 budget statement and economic policy of the government. The decision was after 138 members on the majority side voted by voice to approve the budget, which was purportedly rejected by the House on Friday, November 26th. The minority members who had voted against the budget last Friday were not in the chamber of the House to take part in proceedings leading to the approval of the budget. Mr. Oseche Mensah Bonsu, the majority leader in moving the motion to overturn the earlier decision of the budget by the minority, cited Order 109 of the Standing Orders of Parliament and fortified it by Article 104 of the Constitution. He said the 137 minority members who rejected the budget did not meet the acid test established by the Constitution under Article 104.
Speaker, the votes and proceedings provide, indeed they have captured, that at the time of the approval or disapproval of the budget, the number in this chamber, as recorded in the votes and proceedings, was exactly 137 members. Mr. Speaker, our orders provide under Order 109.1, and I quote, "No question for decision in the House shall be proposed for determination unless there are present in the House not less than one half of all the members of the House. And except otherwise provided in the Constitution, the question proposed shall be determined by the majority of votes of the members present and voting." Mr. Speaker, this provision is fortified by Article 104 of the Constitution, which provides, except 104.1, except as otherwise provided in this Constitution, matters in Parliament shall be determined by the votes of the majority of members present and voting, with at least half of all the members of Parliament present. Mr. Speaker, evidently, the number 137 that was relied on by this House to reject the budget did not meet the asset test established by the Constitution under Article 104(1).
Deputy Speaker, Mr. Joe Osei-Wusu, who is also the Member of Parliament for Bekwai, called the House to order and quoted Order 109 and Article 104 of the 1992 Constitution to justify that the House had a quorum and therefore it stood ready to take a decision.
Article 104(1). Except as otherwise provided in this Constitution, matters in Parliament shall be determined by the votes of the majority of members present and voting. The vote of the majority of members present and voting, with at least half of all the members of Parliament present. What it means is that before you take a decision, there must be at least a majority of all members present. With me, we have 138 members. That's a majority. It doesn't mean that all the 138 must vote yes or no. A majority of this 138, their decision will carry the day. So, I'll go ahead and put the question on the motion proposed before us. All in favor of the motion, say aye. Order. All against say no. The ayes have it. The motion is carried.
The Finance Minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, in concluding his budget statement, gave an update on the state of the 2022 budget statement and economic policy.
I'd like to assure the minority that in committee I'll look to address their concerns as enumerated in their open letter to the public. Mr. Speaker, there was an issue about acre energy which we agreed in our statement, Mr. Speaker, that we will correct the language appropriately during committee meetings, and that we commit to do. Mr. Speaker, there was another request which had to do with Ejapa, and we agreed that consultations had not finished. AG is still working on that, and any such issue would also be brought to Parliament. Mr. Speaker, in fact, the estimates do not include any revenue from that transaction. Mr. Speaker, the minority was also worried about the issue of Brikusu and the coastline. We have 540 kilometers of coastline, and from Aflao to Pram about 149 kilometers. Mr. Speaker, we commit to look at this problem for the coastline in the coming weeks to ensure that we have resources for the design study and ensure that all on the coastline are taken care of on a policy basis.
After that, the Speaker put a question on the motion for the House to approve the budget, which received an overwhelming yeah response.
Honourable members, the motion that was moved by the Honourable Minister and have been debated is now ready for a decision to be taken. We have already determined that the appropriate numbers are in the chamber, and therefore the House stands ready to take a decision. I'll put the question. All in favor of the House adopting the resolution Moved by the Honorable Minister for Finance. Say aye. All against say no. The ayes have it. The motion moved. The House has accordingly approved the budget statement for the ensuing year ending 31st December 2022. Honourable members, order!
The Minister of Education, Dr. Yao Seichum, has said the socio-economic agenda of the country cannot be realized without the development of human capacity of the country. He said in view of these, the education and training of students and young people should be encouraged to increase productivity and give the competitive edge to the nation's workforce, especially in the oil and gas sector. The minister made these remarks at the grand finale of the Ghana Gas Challenge competition organized by the Ghana Gas Company of Ghana at the University of Professional Studies at Legon on Tuesday. The participating schools were the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, University of Ghana, and the University of Mines and Technology at Takwa. The University of Mines and Technology from Takwa emerged winners, with KNUST coming second and University of Ghana placing third.
They are in fact behind the performance.
University of Mines and Technology.
In his speech read on behalf of the Minister of Education by Mr. Selassie Jimiku, the Principal Program Officer commended the Ghana Gas Company for initiating the Gas Challenge to create a platform for engineering students in the Ghanaian tertiary institutions.
As a ministry, we are proud to be associated with such a great initiative that is not just educating, but also enhancing the relationship between academia and industry. Socioeconomic development is a collective responsibility and can be achieved through an idea sharing, innovation, and creativity. That is why I am particularly excited that this year's theme, which is driving socioeconomic development through diversification of gas utilization. The socioeconomic development agenda can be achieved without the development of human capital. The role of the Ghana Gas Company through this gas challenge is very strategic for our country's socio-economic development.
He said the challenge is also aimed at enhancing the relationship between Ghana Gas and academia to produce career opportunities for students who have keen interest in the gas industry and also broaden their knowledge in the gas industry. He reaffirmed the support of the program and the challenge by his ministry and said this will spur on the interest of young people in the gas sector.
On behalf of my ministry, I would like to use this opportunity to congratulate Ghana Gas for working together to organize this competition to its climax. My ministry wishes to reaffirm our confidence and support for the program and participants of this challenge.
Mr. Selassie Jimiku reiterated government's desire to facilitate the construction of STEM schools in the country to enhance the learning of science and technology in the country. The CEO of Ghana Gas, Ben Asante, earlier said the objective of the competition was to build the requisite capacity to enhance the knowledge base of the energy sector.
I wish to congratulate all the participating institutions. All of you, you've done very well. The crux of this particular competition really is to build the requisite intellectual capacity, starting with our tertiary institutions and then of course going to the country at large, to enhance our knowledge base of the energy industry in general and certainly the gas subsector in particular.
Madam Augustina Sari, chairperson of the Challenge Committee and the senior manager for government relations for Ghana Gas, spoke to the media after the event.
Given the zonal contest, how it went, I was expecting a little bit of a change in the possible winners. So I was quite a bit surprised, especially it seems like the winners, UMAT, were far behind at some point, and other, like UG was leading. and at some point KUSC was leading, and before you knew it, flipped. And I think at the last round, it took a matter of, if you will, courage to want to really answer those questions, and people were quick, and I believe that especially the lady from UMass was very bold and decisive in, pressing the button at the right time to get them the winning points. The committee, we are yet to meet, but we had planned to do an innovation portion of it, but we were able to do it because of the COVID. So we are hoping to do it next year, where apart from the quiz, students will come up with solutions of challenges that we are facing in the industry for them to provide a solution for them. And I think that will also help drive our industry, making sure that at least we have people who can provide solutions for some of the challenges that we face in the industry.
3 students have been killed and 8 others injured, including a teacher, in a high school shooting in the U.S. state of Michigan. Officials say a 16-year-old boy and 2 girls aged 14 and 17 died. Police allege the suspect, a pupil at the school, used a handgun that his father had bought on Friday. Students have described hiding under decks during the attack. Some had stayed home on Tuesday